All right, I think we got it figured out. I'm not sure what the issue was here, but I think we're good to go. All right. So, welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. Obviously, I've been out with the birth of my son, so I haven't been able to get with you guys on the golf. Last week was actually a really good week at the John Deere Classic. Rob and I finally found some pay dirt here in the single entry. Him and I finished fifth last week, so we had a pretty good lineup. Unfortunately, our two highest priced golfers actually were our two worst golfers. JT Poston and Bridgman just didn't have. Bridgman had a good Sunday, just not the best that you needed, and Poston, he wasn't that great either. But we had Gim, Homa, Blades Brown in the lineup. The other guy's escaping me right now at the moment. Oh, Jackson Suber. So I had a pretty solid lineup. Ended up finishing fifth in the single entry. Unfortunately, Suber and Gim didn't really make a push on Sunday that we needed. That probably would have altered things quite a bit for us. Had they made a push, maybe there was a chance at first. The real lineup, though, that would have won is had we replaced Bridgman and Poston with Goddard and Rio Hisatsune. That would have been a chop for the lotto, so we would have won a lot of money that way. But not going to be mad about a win. That was the first big win since the Sony Open, I feel like. So we'll take it. But back to business as usual. I just want to remind you guys of the charity golf outing, the For Fantasy's Sake golf outing. That is August 2nd. That's a Sunday. We tee it up at 8. Sign up is at 7:30. It is $280 a team. That's $70 a person. And included in that is your 18 holes and a cart for golf. You also get vouchers from Lifted Energy and Hungry Carnivore. And there's also going to be games and prizes going along throughout that day. It's just really a great opportunity to give back to the community. All the proceeds from this event go to local community-driven efforts such as Toys for Tots. So if you guys are interested in playing, we still have spots for golfers. We'd love to have everybody out there. It's going to be a really fun time. Can't wait to swing like a jackass and have fun with everyone that's out there supporting. So looking forward to seeing y'all out there for that. And I just want to also remind you guys of the Toys for Tots Bowl. This is an event now. This is going to be the sixth or seventh year. All right, I believe this is the seventh season. And over the last 6 years, this group has raised over $10,000 to go to Toys for Tots. I can't even tell you how much that's helping folks around Christmas time. You're giving a kid just a little bit more special of a Christmas moment. It's really a great way to give back to the community. There's also prizes involved with this league. The goal is to have over 260 people. That's the goal this year. So let's get everybody signed up. It's a great way to have fun and play fantasy football. The entry fee is simply just a donation. But you also be involved for prizes and bragging rights with your friends. I like to think I'm one of the best fantasy football players there is out there. So you also get some bragging rights to say you beat me. Maybe. I don't think you'll beat me, but you're more than welcome to hop in. And it's a great way to give back to the community. Again, it's about giving back to those in need. That's really what all this stuff boils down to at the end of the day, folks. So if you're interested in that, please let myself or DJ know, and we'll get you signed up. But all right, we got the Scottish Open this week. The lads have flown over the pond. This is a quote-unquote links-style course. It's not a true links course, but it does have some very similar features to links style. But of course, the first thing that we always want to consider each week is the weather. And for Scotland, it's looking pretty mild. Usually this course plays one of two ways, hard or easy. Hard is when it's typical coastal weather where you're getting 20-mile-an-hour winds. It really makes this course a lot more difficult. It's looking pretty mild out there, so it's going to be pretty gettable. In my mind, I'm thinking, it's going to be in that 15 to 20 under range for the winter if the weather holds up. So it's going to make it a pretty gettable course. So that's kind of how I'm building. I'm going to build not so much with a focus on like hard-nosed players that can battle through difficult conditions. So like I may play Tyrrell Hatton this weekend or this week, but with the weather being what it is, he's not as much somebody that I'm rushing to click because I think in an easier setting, that doesn't mean he can't do good in an easier setting. He's just a guy I like to target when I know it's going to be really tough and he's going to grind out pars for you. So someone like him, maybe that takes him off my radar a little bit. Not saying I wouldn't play him though. But I'm mainly this week, really, I'm just targeting ball strikers and with a preference towards people that hit it further. Especially since it's going to be limited conditions, not very difficult weather-wise. I'm looking at ball strikers with distance. The putting, it's going to roll so much slower than these guys are used to every week. So I think that kind of opens up the door for people that maybe aren't as good at putters. It kind of maybe levels the playing field a little bit. So guys like that, like a guy I have for a sleeper this week is Kevin Yu. I think this sets up perfectly for a Kevin Yu. He's a good ball striker. He's been ball striking well. Had a solid finish last weekend at the John Deere Classic. I think if it's going to be easy, it sets up for him to do pretty well, and he's going to be at a good price. So Kevin Yu is probably my first sleeper this week. Two other guys that I like as sleepers this week are Brian Harman and Doug Gim. Harman's been doing really well on approach lately, and Doug Gim's is playing some of the best golf of his career. I had him last week. Doesn't look like people want to play him this week. I don't know if they think it's just going to be more difficult. Like if this was going to be difficult conditions and stuff, maybe I'd lay off of Doug Gim. But it's setting up to be pretty easy. So I think Doug Gim's just another guy that I think could be a sleeper at his ownership. I thought for sure he'd be way more owned this week. Had he been more owned, maybe I do lay off of him, but he's someone I like as a sleeper this week. So I've got Kevin Yu, Doug Gim, and Brian Harman as the sleepers this week. We'll get to the two guys that I'm going to be fading this week. And the two guys I'm going to be fading this week are Nikolai Højgaard and Aldrich Pokegeter. Højgaard's done well here. I don't see it though. This guy might be over 20% owned, and he's not really playing that great to justify jamming that ownership for him. I just think you could do better around him. Just doesn't strike me as a good play this week at the ownership and just how well he's played. I know he's got the course history, but I'm going to pass on him this week. And Aldrich Pokegeter, he's pushing 10% ownership, and I'm struggling to find out why. He was a guy I was looking at in my first build, but I think, yeah, he just got really popular, and maybe it works out for him with it being easier conditions. That is one thing I'll say might favor him, but it's going to favor everybody else too. So, and he's not exactly setting the world on fire on approach. I mean, he bombs it off the tee. He's been better with the putter, but his ownership, I'm good on him for this week. So Nikolai and Pokegeter are the guys I'm going to pass on this week. Now, the two guys that I'm going to be playing this week, Matt Fitzpatrick and Victor Hovland. I think Fitzy's kind of getting a little overlooked this week for a guy that's been playing pretty well all year long. Kind of bring him back to his side of the pond. I like him here. Guy's just been having a really good year. I'm going to play a guy that's been having a really good year. And same with Victor. With this being a little bit easier of a setup, I do like Victor's ball striking here. I would worry a little bit off the tee for him. I could slow him down a little bit. But, I mean, he's coming off a win. And, I don't know, maybe he's found it again. When Vic finds it, he's one of the best golfers on tour. One of the best golfers in the world. So maybe he's got it going. He doesn't seem to be getting a ton of ownership this week. With it playing easier, I just feel like I'm going to take more chances. I don't know that I'm going to even play Scotty, Rory, or Rahm. If I do play one of those three guys, it's probably going to be Rory. I just can't see spending $14,000 on Scotty. And I'm not going to call this a birdie fest, but it's going to be a score. Like there's going to be scoring. So I don't know. I think that makes it harder for Scotty to win, but he's also feels like he's going to win one eventually at some point. So I don't know. The way I'm looking at it is I'm probably fading the top three, but I'm not saying that any of them are bad plays by any means. I just don't particularly like Scotty at 14,000, given that this is going to be a little bit more wide open. And John Rahm, I mean, I don't know. The what has he done of note? I mean, nothing too crazy. You can play him. I just probably not a guy. I'm probably clicking Rory of those three up there. In lieu of that, I might fade the whole range in general. Uh, we'll see. I don't have much time because actually the tournament starts in less than 7 hours because they're over in Scotland, so they will be teeing off at 1 o'clock our time since they're 6 hours ahead of us. So that's something to keep in mind. You don't want to get them lineups entered in before you go to bed instead of waking up scrambling to build, because the tournament will be starting by the time you wake up with normal hours. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Um, been pretty busy at home. We have a newborn. He just turned a week old. Planning on going Friday this week. We got really busy heading up the last few weeks, so I haven't been able to make as much content as I'd like to. But I think things are slowing down a little bit, so I should be back to our regularly scheduled program. I do have plans for a round 3 showdown and a Sunday show. Nothing should be getting in the way of that this week, so I will be back with you guys Friday night. Make sure you guys feel free to let me know who you're playing down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts for the week. I haven't talked to any of you guys for a couple weeks. Be interested to hear what you guys are thinking for the week and how you guys have been doing as far as your plays each week go. But otherwise, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back with you Friday. Later.